Hello, Brobs. We got books galore. Start with this bullshit. Ursula K. Le Guin, The Farthest Shore. Some sci-fi bullshit. Number 3 in the Earthsea trilogy. Don't care about it. I bought it just because it's vintage and it's a classic. Well, classic to some people. To me, that's what it makes me feel. Not like a woman, but this spirited woman. The young prince brought harsh news. There was no longer the true magic in England. It's not even England, it's just England. England without a G and an N. Enlad. Now get away from me. Once I saw that, that's enough. Enlad. Anton Chekhov's Selected Stories. This is quite fucking dim in here. What a blurry ass. Selected Stories of Chekhov. If you don't know who Anton Chekhov is, you're a simpleton. If you don't know his works, that's another thing. But if you don't know who he is, simpleton region. H.P. Lovecraft, The Tomb. The Tomb. Bone-chilling tales of horror and macabre. I've read some Lovecraft in my time, and I found nothing in it that suited my fancy, shall we say. The next morning, we visited the pyramids. I just don't understand fiction, honestly. Unless you're like Wilkie Collins or Hugo. It's just not that good. The church was scarce lighted by all the lanthorns that had entered it. Can't read it. Bought this one too for selling purposes. And the mass market appeal. Typey. Or is it Tippy? Typey. By Herman Melville. I think this is one of Melville's obscure works. Typey, originally subtitled A Peep at Polynesian Life, catapulted Herman Melville to fame at the age of 17 upon its publication in 1846. I guess it isn't obscure. Ostensibly a novel, the story is closely based on the author's 4-month sojourn with a group of South Sea Islanders, the Typees, after he and a companion deserted their whaling ship. Initially, the two Americans are charmed and fascinated by the exotic life of the Typees. Their physical beauty, the regal bearing of their warriors, the gracefulness of their women. Anyway, this book has become obscure and cheap, not cheap. UN hyphen cheap, not cheap. This is a cheap reprint, but it's probably worth $10 if you find the right fool. While at the store, the Step thrift store in Dearborn Heights, I was thinking, I've found no true crime for me mother. And right after I thought that, I saw this book. So either I was sensing it or it was sensing me. And I forgot to give it to her. when I was at her homestead today. So, I mean, great plan, but poor execution. What's this book about? The true story of a body at the Belvedere, Makita Brotman. This is a learned, lucid, and finally heartbreaking account of urban obsession. It's David Fincher's film Zodiac crossed with accounts of Judge Crater's disappearance crossed with Miss Brotman's wild take on the unknowability of life and the necessity of staying obsessed. Miss Brotman is a groove, and so is her book. I don't know what any of that means. Who the fuck is Judge Crater? At once a meditation on suicide and the ways people die, as well as a solid piece of investigative reporting. Unexplained death crosses many lines and takes big risks. Admirable, compelling, unusual. Wait, so this fucker killed himself and then you're telling us it's a meditation on suicide? It better not be. That'd be disappointing, buddy. Anyway. Mammogramo will read that. Worlds in Collision by Velikovsky. Obviously, it's a library-bound book from the Detroit Library, due December 17th, 1994. I believe it's from the 50s, but I could be wrong. 1950. Not in the greatest shape, but copies of not necessarily this edition sold for 10 to 15 to 20 bucks. Obviously those weren't rebound and had dust jackets, but if I get 10 or 15 bucks out of this, it should be worth it. Every country of the ancient world. We can trace cosmological myths of the birth of the planet Venus. Wait a minute. Isn't this the person that, what's her name, was talking about? Laura Mundo? Maybe it is. Let me put something in there. I don't have anything. No rubbish laying around to just toss in there. I'll put some seeds in there. Get in there, buddy. What's this? Easy. Detroit Public Library. Detroit, Michigan. My chicken. I'll set you aside, buddy. Drink of choice was Fago Diet Cream Soda, but it's gone. Werner's Ginger Ale. There's a couple ginger ale or Werner's books at this store. And I got them both because they're probably worth more than nothing. I assume the other one's worth some money. This one probably is too, but I don't think I have it. Look at that ghoulish son of a bitch and gnome. My God. Anyway, Werner's is like the first mass-produced. What the hell is this? A rich, deliciously satisfying collection of breakfast recipes. Okay. What is this? Werner's Ginger Ale, new local book. I got it. Oh, it's signed too. To Joanne. Wishing you fond memories of Werner's. Thanks, Keith. I mean, I don't know if I have fond memories of Werner's, but the shit's pretty good. Anyway, it's the first, I believe, mass-produced or not necessarily the first, but the longest running, continuously running, available. Look at that. Available soda pop. Though in Michigan we rightfully call it pop because it's not called pop because it's filled with sodium. It's because the bottle used to go when you pulled the cork. So that's why they call it pop. Soda is just a fucking soda. I'm sure the soda plays a part in making it pop. Anyway, I guess this is about the old factory and all that bullshit. Although it looks more like just photos of Detroit and places that served it. Another Michigan book. Detroit Opera House, Images of America. I believe I've been to the Opera House. Or maybe not. Maybe it's the Fox I went to. Anyway, I believe the Illiches own this. Maybe not. Don't care really. I just bought it because it's a Michigan book and I may need some of this info in here at some point. Grand Circus. Holden Kwan. So yeah, another Detroit book that no one cares about except 17 people. This book I like a lot. The Arts, Hendricks, Willem, and Van Loon with a colored plate on the outside. Only 59 cents with a mosquito bullet hole. Simon & Schuster, obviously, 1937. Oh, those are the books by him. Pardon. This one is 1937. As you can see, there's some plates concerning the aughts, and that's why I got this, because it's got some pretty cool plates. This one, let's look at this one. Not necessarily a cool plate, but it's interesting enough, I guess. If you're in kindergarten and you drew something like that. This ain't exactly groundbreaking itself, but illustrations and colored nonetheless. Guess it didn't say fine arts, it just said the arts. I don't know if it's worth anything, but like I said, I like the colored plates. And if it's worth nothing, I could always cut out the colored plates. See, like that's cool. Highlighted red drape. Richard Wagner. What the hell is this about? I don't know. Anyway, that's the book. That's the book. Gypsies, The Hidden Americans by Anne Sutherland. I originally had a book of palmistry, but I don't know, it was kind of like a 5th grade picture book of palmistry, so I put it back. I can always get it again because no one else will buy it. Most people are apparently looking for Danielle Steele and crap like that in fiction. Gypsies. This book, I knew as soon as I saw it was by Joe R. Lansdale, and it looked semi-vintage. Vintage in the generic term of being 20 years or older, as well as being comic-y, as in Batman comic. This fucking glare. Knew it was probably worth something, and even though it's not in good condition, this copy can probably fetch $10. First, I'll have to get rid of the 80-cent thing that somebody put on there. Yes. Just a comic book form. Well, partially comic book form. Kind of like illustrated book, even though it's waterlogged. I might get $10 for it. If not, I don't. There's the Werner story, From Gnomes to Now. Same thing, except this looks like it has a lot of colored pictures. Werner's. This fucking dreaded glare. Right. The Werner story. Ginger ale connoisseurs love deliciously different Werners for its distinctive gingery flavor. Yeah. What this is about. Sherlock Homie. Another book I'll never read to go into my collection of Sherlock Holmes that I'll probably sell it eventually. I tried to sell that one book for $200 or $300. No bites on it yet. But now that I talk about, maybe it will sell. This is the original illustrated Sherlock Holmes, 17 short stories in a complete novel from the Stand magazine, which is pretty cool. Too bad they're not colored, but I guess old magazines were not colored. This is from the 80s. Where's the copyright? It's definitely not 1905. I don't know. I'll just assume it's the 80s. I'll tell you why. Because of this shit bastard right there. Item $4.95. That's why I suspect it's from the 80s. Peels off like old tape. I don't know. That's an older ISBN. It might be 70s. Doesn't have a barcode, so it might be 70s. Castle. See back of jacket for complete listing of contents. No, won't. Yeah, maybe it's in the forward. Assume there's a forward to this book. Introduction. I don't know. It's a hardcover. It's got a dust jacket. It's got Sherlock on it. What the fuck? Get on there. That's that. Mr. Palomar Italo Calvino. Got this mostly for the Mylar jacket, but the book seems to have some value, even though it is an ex-library book. And it has this smudge of sticker residue where somebody removed the protective thingamabobber. Plus, somebody fucking broke the board. Well, not the binding is split there, as you can see. Careless bastard. But if I can sell it for $10, make $5 off of it, I shall take it. That will pay for about half of what I paid for all these, which was about $10. And they were basically all free. If I sell $1 or $2, I get 4 or 5 for Lansdale, minus shipping, of course. shipping and the fees. Ah! Come on. No, that's enough. Mylar's coming off here. This book was from the Salvation Army, and it's a completion of the other book I bought about the girl who couldn't speak or something like that, who was emotionally distressed. And I mentioned another book that I left behind. This is it, Tiger's Child. This is for my child, who will soon be 16 and is still reading little scholastic books and loves Pokemon, so what can you say? What's this say? Tattoo inside? Temporary tattoos inside. Where at? Where at? I don't think they're in here. Book's disgusting. Deoxys in danger. Looks like a Power Ranger. So yeah, that's from a child. This book, Hitchcock presents The Master's Choice. And I only bought it because of that. Because I saw John King yesterday at a book or a estate sale. And I'm probably going to John King tomorrow to look for UFO books. And then there it is. Philip K. Dick, who I mentioned yesterday at the sale before I saw Mr. King at the estate sale. What else is in there? Nothing. Those are the main reasons I bought this. Like I said, it's got moisture exposure, so if it was worth something, it wouldn't be worth something. But for 59 cents, you can't beat it. I mean, you could beat it, but you won't. The Mystery of the Merrimack, which was half off, so I got it. Book doesn't seem to ever sell, but I'm going to try to list it one of these years. Merrimack was some ship during the Civil War. I surmised. How do they put these stickers on there? God damn you and your stickers. Just leave it on there then, I guess. Very short book. Literally 50 pages. Much of it's not much of a book. It's photocopied documents, letters, and something. I mean, it's almost begging you to read. It's so short. Thoughtful students and many casual readers will recognize that those whose comments are quoted below are acknowledged as among the eminent and sometimes politically critical contemporary elder statesmen and pundits of the current literature of the American Civil War. It may be of interest to the general public to know that each... Oh my God, just say what the fuck this thing was. Who cares about the public? What happened with this fucking ship? Herbert Edward E. Barthel Jr. was born in Nashville, Tennessee. I can't do it. I can't fucking do it. We'll do it live. Is there a forward so I just know what the synopsis is? 1959. Edward Barthel. Frontispiece. What's going on about the frontispiece? One of the most delightful diaries in print is that of patrician Philip Hone, who in 1825 was elected mayor. I'm assuming that this ship sank or something. I don't know what happened to it. I don't really care either. I just bought it because it's a hardcover, and it was half off, and it's 50 cent. 50 cent. And this book I bought despite my loathing of this fucking guy. Dave Grohl. Probably the worst. I mean, he's like basically the Taylor Swift of rock music. Not that I'm a great connoisseur of rock music. I don't particularly listen to music anymore at all because it's all noise. I listen on occasion. A couple songs a day, maybe. Partials. This book ain't. Oh dear. Corner's fucking crumbled in. Bumped corner. I was hoping it was signed so I get a bunch of money for it, but if I can get. I'll list this fucking. I hate this guy. God, I hate this son of a bitch. Just dislike him. I think that Fingernails song was the song that really made me dislike him, and then everything he ever did besides Everlong is rubbish. Don't like. Crazy English. The Ultimate Joyride Through Our Language by Richard Lederer. Now, I believe I have this book in only paperback, and I'm hoping I only have it in paperback because, I mean, now I have it in hardcover. What the fuck was that word? Is that supercalifragilistic? No. Disestablishmentarianism is a mere pygmy in the hierarchy of truly long words. 30 letters, hippopotamonus monstrosum. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. That's 34 letters. 45 letters of miner's lung disease. Herpetology. Is that the study of... Oh, I thought it was herpes. It is. Oh. The study of herbs, herpes, female. I don't care. It's herpes to me. So yeah, another dictionary book. Is there any more books? I don't think so. Did I read that one already? I think that's all. That's all.